Things like, in my ideal world, my newsletter would go out this many times a month. In my ideal world, and over like a period of 2 or 3 months, I suddenly find that my ideal world list needs some attention, but I physically don't have time to do it. However, if I spend more time doing what I should be doing, earning the money that I'm earning, then actually that's top of my list now. So then I'd be looking for somebody virtually that could get that newsletter out at the time that I want it out, or could create this piece of content that I want to do a series on.
Hi, my name is Judie Russell and I'm a video trainer and producer with the Vid Academy.
Hi, my name is Sian Horn and I am a business and marketing mentor. I teach businesses what they need to know to stay in business. Also the founder of the Club Women's Network and Elite Pilates and bbell.com.
Hi, my name is Jen and I'm the founder of a paid advertising agency called Lemon 7 based here in Cork.
Hey, I'm Jay Woodard and I am the creative director at Ad32, a content production house that produces content for SMEs and corporates.
Today's episode is brought to you by sianhorn.com, your go-to resource for business mentorship, empowering entrepreneurs to achieve their goals and expert guidance and support. Contact me at hello@sianhorn.com. Hi and welcome to episode 42 of Unbranded. It feels like such a long time since I took charge of the whole 2 weeks, but that's my fault for having a couple of weeks off. How is everyone and how was your week? Jude?
Grand. I was just saying I had to lock myself in for the weekend to get an edit done. It's a half an hour edit, so it's a big one. But if I did it on a Monday or Tuesday, I'd be just checking emails and taking calls, and I just keep finding ways to get myself out of it. So I was like, right, Saturday, Sunday, locked in, had enough food, and did like, I'd say 12, 13 hours kind of in a row and just like smashed through. Wow. So I'm delighted.
It's a great
with
feeling
that.
After that session.
Isn't that nice?
Such a good feeling.
Yeah. Eating the frog, girl, eating the frog. And yourself?
Good, yeah, tipping.
Yeah.
It's getting back there. Like it was the last few months, I've just been out of offices a lot now. It's picking up again now and we're getting there again. I'm on holidays next week, so looking forward to
Will
that.
it actually be this week?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you're listening to this, I'm by the pool.
And I shall be too, because I shall be in Croatia. It's amazing, actually. It's a nice feeling. How's your week, Jen? Sorry.
You're grand. Good. Yeah, I had a few kind of things that were just niggling on a task list for a while, and even on other people's in the team. And I was like, can everyone let's just all put our heads down this week and just go into Monday strong. And you should see the little tiny to-do list now I have today, and it's a good feeling. I was just like, so much shit needed to get done. Not nice things.
Yeah.
Shit needed to get done.
I'm actually looking forward to get back to the swing of things. I know we spoke last week about a lot of people being on holiday and stuff, and I really felt that during the month of August. So actually I haven't even put any content on my own socials for August. So I went back in headstrong this morning. So
if you're feeling guilty about not putting content out or this kind of, you're making that video you should be making, just know that Bryan came here on Saturday Take 9 and did 58 videos for the next month and a half. Just to put it out there.
Can I hear about that? Can I hear about like the plan and how you did it?
I think you can hear about it on last week's episode, actually, because she speaks about it in episode 41.
What did I say?
Huh?
What did I say?
God, you lot are just bang it.
Because this is 42.
This is the
42,
second one
this is
that
the
we're
second
recording.
episode.
This is 42, but we just happen to record it.
Yeah.
So I think we'll talk about that in episode 41 because that was last week. However, I'm going to be smug as well when you talk about that. I did 12 this morning, so
12 videos.
Yeah, wasn't a bad start to my day. So, but it's only because I watch her and go, I'm on it. I'm getting on it. If I'm going back in, I'm going in strong. This week's episode, actually, we were having a few chats over the last few weeks. We're talking about when is the time to know that you might need some help in your business, and the world of VA. And actually, it was a great chat we had over WhatsApp, Judy, and you're like, I thought VA is someone that just helps you with booking your appointments and is more sort of a secretarial. And without a doubt, that is what it used to be, I think, until 220. I work with a lot of VAs. Their title is VA now, and obviously the title virtual assistant. I have one for editing. I have another person that does outreach for me. I have someone that helps me with podcasts. So I just think it's really vast, and I think lots of people get really confused by it. But there's virtual assistants in most areas now, and I think it makes it much easier as a business person and as a solopreneur. But I think the hard thing is to know who you need and when you need them. So have we all used a virtual assistant?
No.
I have.
Yeah, Aoife is a virtual assistant.
She's a virtual assistant. She's an editor.
Yeah. So then what Shan was explaining was she's like, I was thinking a virtual assistant is a PA, but she's like, since COVID now they have to actually call themselves VAPAs as opposed to, so then a virtual assistant could be a virtual editor.
So I have a load of girls that I work with and they're VAs, but they just do people's social media. And at first, like in 2 or 3 years ago, I was like,
not really a VA, they're just social media manager.
That's what they, but then what is a social media manager? Some people they're doing paid content for people, etc. Some social media managers only do organic posting. They don't actually create anything. Like that whole world is very...
When it back to an administrative piece that it's classified as VA, whereas like a social media manager might be a strategy level and the virtual assistant might be at like...
So if you go into your social level now, like because there's VA networks now, you know, and people training people how to be VAs. If you go into their websites, you'll have VAs in social media, VAs in admin, VAs in... And I suppose, so the word itself has evolved over the last sort of few years because I'd be the same. You know, I'm the first ever VA I ever took on, Lean on Lee. She's amazing, but she was my PA, but virtually. But I think it's really confusing for people. And I think it's a great conversation to have because.
Do you think it's like to a certain degree, this whole coach thing that happened at COVID, that it kind of went negative, that everyone became a coach because they thought they knew something, that everyone became a VA and somewhat. Is there too many VAs, what I'm saying, do you think? Or
no, not at all. I think it's people understanding how to use them or where to find them and for what they need. Like I always, and I've spoken about this before, I have my to-do list weekly and I always have a second list and that's in my ideal world list. So it's things like, in my ideal world, my newsletter would go out this many times a month, in my ideal world. And over like a period of 2 or 3 months, I suddenly find that my ideal world list needs some attention, but I physically don't have time to do it. However, if I spend more time doing what I should be doing, earning the money that I'm earning, then actually that's top of my list now. So then I'd be looking for somebody virtually that could get that newsletter out at the time that I want it out, or could create this piece of content that I want to do a series on. Do you know what I mean? So, but a lot of the time, it's just
It'd be an interesting exercise to swap the list.
Oh, 100%.
For you to be doing the ideal list and for the VA to be doing the other list.
Yeah, 100%. And it's working out, isn't it? Like who do you need and when's the time to get them?
Yeah.
So like in your roles and in your job, you know, there was a point of time that you went, oh, you know, the editing side of this business is getting very, very heavy. I need to be out more. At what point did you go, I need to look for somebody to help me?
No, it wasn't looking because I have looked before and it has never worked out. It was the finding of our cherished person, Aoife, who's in the studio with us today, all the way from France. It's very exciting to have her here. But like, for example, this weekend now, I was just finishing an edit that Aoife has been working on. It's like a documentary almost, like about kidney disease, you know, so like there's like 7 contributors, it's a half an hour long, there's loads of cutaways. So every night that I was going and filming, or every day I was filming the people, I'd transfer the footage to Aoife that evening. And then I was just like sending her voice notes, Jen triggered. And then, right, there was this guy then there, and then he kind of said this thing, but maybe put that out. Like, I don't know how she actually, like when then she sent me the project file, right, I opened it and I was like, how did she remember that? How did she know to put that there? And oh, so beautiful. All of the different contributors were nested onto the sequence. So the sequence was even clean and pretty. And I was just like, like just to get it at that stage and just to like, just kind of bring it, the final pieces together is like the best thing that ever happened. But would I trust someone else with that? I find it very hard. Like I'd need Aoife to train.
She understands your vision. She understands your voice.
And she understands the way that I...
It's so important.
Like if you sent me a timeline, we'd probably argue.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just because it's like anything. It's like chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
I could be something completely. My editing style is so different to yours.
Yeah.
And it's just it's chalk and cheese, and the fact that you have someone that just understands how you do it and why you do it is worth their weight in gold. Like
I know. Do you have an editor?
No, not yet. I'm lazy like that. I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
I to my detriment. Like there's stuff I could be handing off where I should be.
Yeah.
But look. Wait and see.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
It's so funny, isn't it? Personalities and people's perception. Loads of people would say to me, you know, can you let go? I find it so easy to let go. I have no bloody problem with it at all.
Some stuff I can let
but
go,
it is
no
finding
problem.
the right person.
Yeah, exactly. It's just finding the right person. Like I had a VA for sales for 6 months. I hate cold calling. I hate cold outreach. I don't like doing it. It wrecks my life where it's just like, it's not even the nose. It's just sitting down and sending 15 emails and nothing. I'm like, I wasted 3 hours, but you didn't. Like, it will come. And the $1 Million Weekend, again, I read that, and there's an interesting story at the very start of it, where just to jump out about sales, is his dad used to do it, where he used to sell, I think it was washing machines or printer or fax printers or something.
Printers,
weird.
I think it was, yeah.
And he made it a game where he'd go into a shop and he'd count the no's, and he'd celebrate on 100 no's. He'd get himself a piece of cake. Where if someone said yes, it was a mental change. Oh Jesus, someone said yes. Where he didn't get down and he didn't get upset when someone said no. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of mentality I have to start taking. But just back to the VAs, I had Anya doing it, and she was brilliant. I took a break with that. I might go back to her. You know, it's just it was like we got 300 no's and 1 yes. Yeah. With that yes paid for the entire month plus Anya's kind of stuff. So it works out. It does balance out financially.
Balance out, even though it's really low. Like for when we were scaling up Velocity Growth first, we had cold email attributed to 15 or 20% of new business at one point. But we had, I think it was like 12 burner domains running cold emails at once. Like it was just burning through them. Like
it's crazy.
Explain that, Jen, and I'm slow today now, but 12 burner domains sending.
So if you're sending cold emails, if you're sending emails out and seeking business in your standard sales format, you don't want to use like Judie@thevidacademy.com, because you'll keep going to spam eventually and you'll keep getting marked as spam. And eventually all your like if you did this and you were a bigger company, all your emails would go down. You wouldn't be able to contact customers. You wouldn't be able to contact each other internally. Like it'll completely crash your email system. So like, for example, when it was velocitygrowth.com, we also owned velocity-growth.com or v-velocitygrowth.com, and like all the different variations of the domain .io and all we could burn through all of those. And how you started is you get your burner domain, you warm it up with some emails internally, you warm it up with some emails to people you know, and you get a few replies and all of that. And then once it's warmed up, you can scale out a cold email campaign until that burner domain gets too far into spam. You kick in to gear your next one then.
Can you test it? Is there something that you can put it into?
Loads. The Apollo is the best one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
and you'll see if your email's gone straight to spam or not, or that kind of stuff. Or
it'll come back with the reports. Like we use Apollo to send out our cold emails, and then when the percentage of spam reached a certain level, it would say, new burner domain needed, essentially, like you put anyone into your ecosystem.
And like anything, that's just a CSV file in with emails that you want to reach out to?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Well, Apollo's good because it has a full ecosystem of emails pre-built in.
Okay.
Yeah, that you can burn through as well.
Class.
Yeah.
And within Velocity Growth, were you using members of staff to do your outreach, or did you have any contractors working for you?
We had a agency contracted for a while to do the cold email to get it set up right, because a lot of people set up cold email wrong because you ruin your email by accident. So we got them to set it up, and it worked well for the first few months. But then they seemed to work off an internal lists of people that they had aggregated, like their own proprietary information. That seemed to have gotten exhausted.
Yeah,
and then we adjusted to take it in house from there.
Yeah, I'm looking for someone that does it for social enterprise and for charities, etc. I was at a complete low last Friday. I got another rejection for another, running a social enterprise and working as a non-for-profit is really bloody difficult, especially when you're not registered as a charity. We don't want to register as a charity. It's a lot of paperwork. We're all volunteers. It's an absolute nightmare.
You'd get 10 grand in free Google ad budget if you did.
Please don't say that. I actually can't. I can't cope.
Can ChatGPT not do it for you?
But the forms to get any kind of funding are, they're extreme. And every time that you fill out, they are actually asking different questions. So it's not a case of copying and pasting. And on Friday we got we are collecting the no's and it's fine. But sometimes you're just like, do you know what? I've had enough.
Yeah.
Just had enough. And then someone said, we used to use a company, Sean, that they just take a percentage of what they get for you. And I was like, who is this company? Because they can come work with us now. And I actually don't know one in Ireland. This was a UK person I was speaking to. But I'd love to find a company that actually just do that, because
Just do all your applying to the grants and applying to all the funding.
100%. It's so. I mean, it really
I've
is.
heard of companies like that before.
Policy, a ton of policy research. Joe, who's a great places to start for that is people who work in the policy departments in places like chambers of commerce.
Yeah.
That's all they do all day, fill in applications for EU projects and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Boring job.
Could you imagine? I mean, I just can't imagine. However, I'm saying, could you imagine? I probably do one a week at the moment.
Yeah.
So I can imagine, and it's shit, and I don't want that job.
I worked alongside people who do that in UCC, and it's their whole job is just copywriting, kind of but they're a special type of person. They're like
there is something special in it.
Yeah,
there really is.
I applied for that $2,500 for the website thing through Leo. I was like, nah, fuck this.
That's not even a bad one.
I'll pay it myself. I was like, no.
I got about 10% in recently as well. I was like,
that
actually comes to a finish very soon. So if there's any small businesses listening to this, I've used that 6 times. Not obviously for the same business, but all of my businesses, I've done it twice. And it's free money. So I've $2,500, I'll fill out the form. I'm filling out these forms and getting sweet FA.
I just think it's so in depth. They need to know figures. They want projections. They want
your blood type.
Do you know what though? Like the amount of emails I got over COVID and after that was launched, where it's like, hey, I just need 3 proposals for this. I'm really sorry. We've already picked our agency, or people who know me, or people who are like, we'll go with you if you put in one. I just need, 2 other people that could put one in as well?
I actually refused to give the other 2 during COVID, especially. I actually put on the application, I won't be asking 2 other businesses that need the money that I know I'm not going to be using to send me a quote and to take the time to do it.
Fair,
because it's not fair.
Oh, I just had a template. As soon as the first one came in, I was like, this is going to be a shit show now for the next 2 years. I need a template just to drop on all these.
Because you got 90% at that point. That was $4,500, 50%.
So you have to put up 2.
But it is actually finishing. So any businesses listening to this that haven't used the online voucher, you should use it. I know it's a bind, but they were closing them off.
So it works where they just build a website and invoice you, you pay it, and then
you pay up front, and then you can reimburse.
They reimburse
up to $5,000. So minus VAT, you get like 2,200, but it's free money.
I just found then that I'm sorry, you can take me down for this now, but like that all the web building companies started inflating their rates, the things that they do for 2,500 now they're doing for 5,000, like feckin' mortgages. Do you know, it's like the house would be worth that, but we'll give you more in your mortgage, and then the house prices go up. Do you know?
Yeah. No. I mean, it's difficult. And actually, during that time, most people were like, especially small agencies, were zooming in on that. You'll see lots of adverts saying, "Have you never been? We'll do it all for you." Blah 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 blah. And they obviously have those 2 other companies that they're working with. They'll get all the quotes to make sure that they get the business. But they let you pick who you do anyway. So why you've got to bother other people? It's just not right.
They've quoted you, so it's in their CRM, it's in their lead form. Do you mean they're waiting on to get back? Like it's shit.
I think it's just a big role in the public sector though in general, because they have to show some level of due diligence in a tender process of sorts.
I've done a few tenders for the county council, and they're like,
talking about that. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll get done for this. But I got an email last week from the Leos, and by the way, I love the Leos. I think the supports they give small businesses is absolutely brilliant. However, I do think sometimes it's a little bit dated. But I got an email this week, and in November, you can book in now for your November training course on how to market your business at Christmas. What is that about?
It's too late. November's not
too late. Come on, guys!
Market your business for Christmas in November.
I was super shocked. But that's.
But did they specify whether it was Christmas 2024 or Christmas 2024? Have you got the wrong end of the stick?
No, definitely got it right. Because I was actually going to a meeting and I went, oh my God, look at this. That's crazy. And that is crazy. Yeah. But also what it's doing is training people, because most small businesses would go to the Leos and they do great courses to think that that's okay.
But like in my mind, I'm like, oh, I might go to that.
She did go, oh, that's great. Did you hear her tone of voice? She went, oh, really?
I did. No, I was like, that's cool.
Too late. It's all done. It's done and dusted. Chris, I mean, we have stuff on in November, sort of meetings and etc. But no one would be talking about Christmas in November.
Even your marketing plan, like your Christmas marketing plan ends on the 26th of December.
It starts next week.
Yeah,
It's
plain and simple.
September.
It stops. Like, no, I do not want to hear jingle bells after 26th. I'm done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm now in that limbo time
No,
where
but you know what you do want
eating and drinking.
is an absolute blast of content scheduled from the 26th to the 31st. How many views I got during that window last year when every Tom, Dick and Harry had put their phone down for Christmas and I had recorded in advance and scheduled it all out. The platforms, like, you know, the content, like, saturation depends on how much you could have a fantastic video and it'll do shit one day and it could be nothing to do with the video. It might actually be content saturation that day. Everyone was like, oh my God, I'm just going to post today. Today's Tuesday. And it just panned out that way.
And
that
it's
week
so-
of Christmas
yeah.
is nothing.
I must actually buy into that, but like when I was working with the politicians, they were obsessed with time of day of posting. And I remember sending them your video where you were like, it doesn't matter, like good content will go out. If it's good, it will get picked up kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you're saying if it's oversaturated, that's the one
That's the
thing that won't actually.
don't bother with it. So like my best time of day to post according to my Instagram is 3 p.m. I post at 6 a.m. my worst time.
Yeah, but
Because it leads into the best times throughout the day.
I've posted 3 videos recently across the last few days and they've all done terribly. Like, I'm like, I was
post
posting
them
at
in the evening,
9 or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Chances 6 or 7 a.m. slot out of curiosity because it's dead and it gets the lift early because it's the first 100 people who see it that catches it. And there may not even be the 100 people.
Yeah, but then I was questioning is the content, but I think the content was solid enough. But yeah,
chances,
This is
it'd be
just time.
curious, it'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
TikTok's breaking my heart. I just can't get that to work for me. It just breaks my heart.
yeah.
I'm switching strategy completely on
I'm just using it like stories now. I've had enough. Just
What are you going to do?
I'm just so what I'm doing at the moment is like instead of content distribution where you're like, I created this video, now I'm going to post it on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn and everywhere else, where it's like I have a content team. Now I'll sit down for a second and create a piece of content as if I'm talking to someone on LinkedIn, as if I'm on Instagram, and make it a little bit more aesthetic. And then the ones for TikTok are going to be like the ones Aoife edits for me, only it'll actually just be me walking around the same topic, just like completely raw, no mic hooked up to
It needs
it,
to be
nothing in between. And
It's weird,
that's
isn't
the
it?
only variation really for
That's why I'm
TikTok for
shifting my
now. Just
stories.
it's the organic
Are they
shift.
working?
Aesthetically pleasing for
First week.
Instagram, adjusted for TikTok, landscape for LinkedIn is going to be the first test there, and then the 1 a month transparent newsletter pieces. It will be the 4 different sets of content for each channel, just out of curiosity.
I'd be interested to see how the newsletter does.
Yeah.
So
Well, my man got
interesting.
back, Jay Close, actually. The guy we talked because he does 1 a month
Yeah.
and reveals everything. He got back to us, didn't he? On something he said, oh, thanks, guys.
Oh yeah. People are really nice for
Getting back,
yeah.
Was that feedback for the pod?
We mentioned him.
We mentioned him,
He's a
yeah.
big
Yes.
creator, like, and he got back saying, thanks so much for the mention and best of luck on that. And stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, is that YouTube?
He is everywhere. So he's YouTube. He has a kind
Okay.
of big kind of community online.
Where did he come back to us?
I
What
think
platform?
it was YouTube, was it? Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube.
He's a big
Oh, you
YouTuber.
do find people are more social on YouTube.
Yeah, I love YouTube.
Where they're
But
more
also
supportive.
YouTube, because it's part of Google's ecosystem, all of the videos get scanned, captions, everything, every single word you say in every video is very easily searchable. So actually there's a ton of automation tools out there.
Yeah.
Not saying he did this, I'm sure you're absolutely lovely and commented on our video, but it's very easy to fully scale out your automation.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
Jen.
Comments while it's on YouTube. Sorry.
Pull the rug, like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
No, because I'm
Sorry.
always interested when someone does comment on what platform that is. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's really important.
I uploaded a video to YouTube a year ago, a short, and it was like, here's how to apply automatic captions to your videos using CapCut. And since then, in certain territories, CapCut have made it a paid feature. And I swear to God, I don't know why the video is taken off, but like, it's not free. It's not free. It's not free. I have to pay for it. And I'm like, all right, lads, it was a year ago. Mine is still free by Captions app. Anyway, like, CapCut is not good for captions.
Pin a comment at the top
Oh, yeah.
and say that. So when they go to comment and they'll see the first thing pinned is like, this was made a year ago.
Very good idea.
It'll still
Here's
keep
my
happening,
affiliate
I
link to the
promise you.
captions app.
Yeah.
Click here.
I don't have one.
Wanga.
Yeah. I never
Very
use
good.
Captions app.
I've been
I
using
got
it
so
recently.
excited by it, and
I need to show you a demo of it, right? Because your
Okay.
talking videos are perfect for it. Like,
Yeah.
Jen does it with it, but like, it will apply zooms for when you're talking. Then you say the word box, it will show a box over
Okay.
you without you having to do anything. It's like, I think you're the ideal customer for it, because in CapCut, you have to manually do everything. And even in Instagram, this will like do it. The only thing I don't like about it is their automated music is like,
Oh, I don't use that
really
so much.
bad,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
can add those in app anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I find with TikTok, the music, like with the suggested music,
Terrible.
oh, it's just horrific.
Well, they did a massive fight with Universal, so they've lost a ton of music. So they just have generic shitty music.
It's like,
to kind of, that's all they
I'm
have.
like, oh my God, no, I can't use that. It's like- and yeah,
Sing it again, Shan.
Dun, 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 dun. Amazing, God, X Factor for me next year. But yeah, no, I struggle with it. Anyway, back to, we're not even going to talk about VAs. It's like, what have you got to teach me this week?
Oh my God. Jesus, you just really put me on the spot there. Skip me. Come back.
Well, actually, what you just told me is great teaching. Because I don't use it. So,
Well, interestingly, I'm going to do a talk with Virtual Assistants Ireland in October, and I'm going to make it all about captions. So there's tying the VAs to
okay,
captions.
I can't wait to see who you meet there,
Yeah, me too.
and maybe have that conversation for us.
Yeah.
I think we should just all go.
Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting day, actually. So I'm
Yeah.
going to
I
stay
I don't
for the
know
whole
why
day,
I
think.
feel so much like
Yeah,
against
like,
it though. I don't know
get away
why.
from me.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, we're all kind of VAs. You know, in some way, shape, or form. A lot of the work that I do,
But then that's all
like
I'm scared
yeah.
it falls into the industry. Then it's like, well, we're all kind of coaches, or we all have a touch of.
well, I am
you
a
know?
coach, so
But you see where we're coming
I'm
from.
a
Like,
certified coach.
we're all video editors.
yes,
We're
Yeah.
not though.
yeah,
You edit videos. I'm a video editor.
Yes.
There's a difference, kind of.
Jeez, yeah,
Scanty
never-
change.
But you know what I mean? I'm not being a prick, but you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
there are
Little video.
there are definitions of it. Like
Oh no, absolutely.
You make little videos,
aggressive.
I make big
That was
videos.
so aggressive. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's so funny.
It's not what you say, Jay. It's
But
the
it's
way
exactly
you
what I
say
mean.
it.
Like everyone's a photographer these days.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
that kind of idea. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
God, that was aggressive.
They have strong feelings.
Yeah, it is, and I completely get
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you're getting, because I find it really difficult sometimes if I'm looking for someone and everyone's like, oh, I have 100 VAs that I work with, Sean, what are you looking for? And I'm like, this is where I just find it so it's like
Yeah, yeah.
sifting
Yeah.
through stuff constantly.
I feel like it is like
And there's all-
mining
yeah.
for gold.
Yeah, and there's also
Yeah.
that time you have to put into it. Like if a VA doesn't work out after 3 months, you've given 3 months to this person,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the hell?
No,
That's
absolutely.
risky too. Then hiring.
100%.
So I don't know.
Hiring is
yeah,
pure
sorry, I'm
sign on
thinking
stuff.
out loud.
Oh,
processing.
hiring, I mean, there's a lesson in itself, how to, and I'm a bit like you, Judie, like I always have vacancies in all of my businesses, but unless the right person comes near us, do you know what I mean? There's always vacancies, but it's
I
got to be the
will
right
happily
person.
hold on for 6 months to hire
Yeah.
someone
you
and
ever
keep
hired
the
anyone?
business
Like, had
smaller
had
than I
someone-
will to hire
Full-time,
quick like
no.
I've done
Yeah,
before.
Always
so
contract.
hard.
Okay. You've never had someone like staff underneath you that you had to worry about their salary and
Oh, sorry, I have in
PSI?
businesses. Oh, no, but not for my own
Okay, okay.
business. No.
They're the pain. Staff are the worst.
Yeah, no,
They're
it's really
good,
hard.
like, but they're the worst. Like,
Yeah.
It is really hard. And quite often I'll be taking people on in junior roles, and they need an awful lot of training as well. So I a lot of the time I'm training people to leave me, which is the right thing to do, because that's how it works. But you've got to be really aware of how much time, there's certain tasks. I've had conversations actually in the last couple of weeks with a lot of people that I work with, and like, if you can't do this, then I just do it. Because I can't pay people to do stuff that I can do anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's time is precious for me. So that's where I need the help. But how do you find it?
yeah, it's just like that. It's just you have to give them time. You have to let them in a lot. What was the other thing I was going to say? It was just finding the time, and also for the first while. And you're very good at it. I don't think I was as good at it as you. Have to be very clear on what you want to get the best out of them, because if not, they're just going to take the paycheck anyway and just tip away and do the list and do whatever it is. But like I found with Anya, she was very good. She's like, okay, what do you need me to do? I'm like, I actually don't know what I need you to do right now. Like, oh, try this, and try this. Where if you do hire a VA, just make sure you know exactly what you want and how you want them to perform. Because I talk to you about it, you say, okay, just at the end of the month, make sure you have a checklist, get the hours, see what they've done, how they did it, and then if you think that's not working, move somewhere else. It was just, you have to be ready for that as well. Instead of just handing off your work to VA, you have to know what you want from that VA as well. Like,
it's a really important relationship as well. Actually, I've worked with a couple of the girls for a very long time, and actually one of us had a conversation last week. I was like, oh my God, we've completely stopped doing what we always did, know what each other were doing at the beginning of the month, because we've got to that point of trust with each other. But now I might be texting you to ask you to do things that you've actually done, but we're not keeping updated. So actually having that communication flow back and forth, it's super important. And as you get more comfortable with each other, you have to make sure that's still happening.
I would be such a good VA. Sorry, now I want to be one.
You would.
So organised. I could get to use every project management system because every business would have a different. Sorry,
yeah, no,
that'd be
absolutely.
wonderful.
she's vibrating. She's like, yes, I love it.
I still use a lot of I don't have a CRM system in place in my business. I probably should. I've just got a way of doing things and I'm just quite comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But
I still use a to-do list on a pen and paper.
Yeah.
I got a whiteboard today. My friend gave me her
love a
whiteboard. I'm
whiteboard.
really excited to go home and do different colours.
Yeah. I also, there's something about to-do list and be able to tick things off, but be able to wipe it across the board.
Yeah.
It is absolutely brilliant.
The only manual thing I'm doing at the moment like that is I have index cards. I'm writing a film. So I have each scene written on an index card and we're placing out the scenes.
I love something like that. Like in front of
visual, the story, you can see it's moving.
I remember when I was living in Tralee, I actually painted a whole section of the kitchen with
the black chalk thing.
Yeah, but you can actually get whiteboard paint as well.
Yeah.
And you can use the whiteboard markers, and if you already have a white room, then it kind of blends in seamlessly. It's really
and you just wipe it off. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Seems great for kids too, and things like that.
Back to that fucking donut shop, the Huckleberries, I painted a wall black with the chalk.
Oh yeah.
It was such a feature that people came and just drew on the wall while the parents were ordering donuts and stuff. It was such a thing to have to do. Like people were signing it and taking photographs and
Actually, I suppose I was watching a lot of social last week with obviously leaving cert results coming out, etc. And watched a lot of the same videos that you see every year, please don't worry about what's coming up and you will be fine. And I did really badly at school, but now look at me and I'm now a doctor and all this. And I think the biggest failing is that, because like that, I love a whiteboard. I'm a visual learner. If I go to a course and I watch somebody for the day, I could leave and I could possibly teach that course without much of a doubt the following day. I've sucked it all in. If you put a book in front of me, I just don't respond. And I did fine at school and I went on to college and whatever, but I don't do anything that I did at school.
Yeah.
I've changed careers that many times.
What were your leaving certs or your end of school exams?
I went thinking the week of the leaving cert. I think I did 330 or 380 or something in my leaving cert.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, so 380 points
GCSEs.
was terrible. Yeah,
GCSEs,
no.
Yeah.
I was the first year of GCSEs.
Just academic stuff.
Do you know what annoyed me though as well? Like on the radio, it was all like interviewing all these kids getting the results. That also, all I was thinking about was the kids that didn't get their results.
Yeah.
It's just like, stop, just, it was just, oh, didn't they do well? And my teachers were amazing. Like, great. But if you didn't do so well, that's all you listen to, all you listen to. No one was saying, oh, do you know what? I didn't do great. However, I thought I wasn't going to do that great and I've already set this up and I'm going to be this when I grow up. Do you know what I mean? And I wanted to hear those stories more.
But it's an outrageous amount of pressure to be applying to any kid. Who the fuck knows what they want to do when they're 18, 17, 18, what you want to do and go to college for?
I wanted to be a hairdresser.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't even remember what I wanted to do. I think I had multimedia at the time.
Good.
Like way back when was...
Yeah.
And at that, the principal's like, you'd be good at that because it's changing all the time. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
My first choice was midwifery and I got it points wise. And then my results came back and it said that I had a D in biology and you needed, I think it was like a B or a C or you needed higher than that. And I was like, this is impossible. There's no way in hell I got a D in biology. And I got the exam reassessed and I did get a B. Oh, my marks were changed and I rang UCC to be like, yo, give me that midwifery
They'd
thing.
already given away the places.
All the places are gone. We'll have to defer you for a year.
Yeah.
So I was like, Wonderful.
Can you
Well, I
imagine?
did my undergraduate in government.
Imagine using
I was going to say, so
Monday.
Imagine Jen with midwifery, her brain and AI right now. There'd be like bots
Babies
delivering
would just be, like,
babies.
popping out of
yeah.
That was so funny. I want to be a choreographer, actually. I was a big dancer. I want to be, and actually, I suppose I do that now. Do you know what I mean? I teach Pilates, I choreograph my classes. So it all comes round.
Yeah.
That's why I could never give up, because that bit of me that's staying with me.
Yeah, I love it.
Class. Well, it was a brilliant non-conversation really about VAs. We will tap on it again. In fact, we should even get one on one day. But yeah, I've learned loads anyway, which I always do. Anything to leave us with?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your stories about how you found the perfect virtual employee. If anyone has one, to send them to us,
Yeah,
so we can
that'd
read
be
them out at the
great.
start of next week.
Yeah, leave some information in the comments, actually. Don't forget, if you enjoy the pod, please like, subscribe. My 6-year-old niece is doing this all the time on the videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So please do. It keeps us going, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.